dear friends, we are just fresh from the celebration of the feast of the Nativity of Mother Mary, and I am sure most of us visited the shrine. Perhaps some of whom could not visit, also saw online. In any case, the celebrations were also at home, and we are fresh from the prayers and from the blessings of Mother Mary. Let me go over to the message of the week. This particular Sunday, it's the 23rd Sunday in the year, and we have a very special message. Something, I would say, different from the other Sundays, but all the more connected to each other. Man is a bundle of relationship, they say. Man is a jumble of relationships. We are related to so many people. There are people at home, there are people in the neighborhood, there are people in the streets, there are persons where we work, where we study, where we go to get hospital treatment, everywhere. The human relationships it's a big, wide circle, as it were. And good enough that many of us are happy and sound in our relationships. And so today's readings speak to us about what we call mending relationships or repairing broken relationships. It's very strange because living with persons, living with realities, living with so many situations can also affect our behavior. And so today's gospel comes as a sound advice to us. When things go wrong in our relationships, in our society, in our human situations, perhaps there must be someone who comes up and says that the situation is to be set right. And so in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 18, verse 15 to 20 speaks about Jesus giving us an advice as to how we could set up or rather repair our relationships. And so Jesus says, if there is someone who has sinned against you or sinned against society, better that you go and tell him. It's your duty, because when something is wrong, we have not only to see that it is wrong, but also try as far as possible to repair it. In fact, the first reading of Jeremiah puts it very strongly. He says, if you do not correct your brother, sister, you will be held responsible for the wrong that he does. But if you do it, you say it, and he continues, then you are not to be blamed. But if you don't do your duty of correcting him, what's called fraternal correction, that is important. And so Jesus says, first of all, go and tell him that something is wrong. Perhaps we could set right our relationships. You could undo the damage that you have done. And it may happen sometimes even in our own family. Perhaps I also do not listen. And so Jesus says, take another one or two with you. Because when 2 or 3 are there and they try to impress upon you, perhaps you might be impressed. But if even that doesn't work, tell the community, tell the church, tell the community, perhaps those that are in charge in order to correct the situation. This is how we can mend our relationships and once again put harmony in the society, in the church. And Jesus ends up with saying that this is not just a physical or psychological or counseling work. God is also present. And God is present where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am, Jesus says. So my dear friends, we have to take Jesus along with us We have to take Jesus in the midst of us. And of course, Jesus is above us. And that is how we can mend or repair our relationships and put right harmony in our communities. I hope the message goes along with you. Maybe God is talking to you. There's something wrong in your family. Someone is not behaving properly. Someone is doing something which is not tolerable. And therefore, perhaps the father, the mother, the elders have to do it. Sometimes even we elders might be also in the wrong. And our juniors, our youngsters may try to correct us. We have to listen. And if they don't listen to you, take someone along with you who can be helpful. And if it is a serious matter, not listen to, perhaps better seek the help or support of the church or the community. I leave this advice of the Lord to you in your family, in your society, in your church relationships.